Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Robot Tech. My name is Scott15, and today is the wonderful podcast of ToySoldiersUnite.com, where we interview awesome people that do awesome things. And one of the newest Toy Soldier members is here with me, Dr. Modius. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's very
Wonderful.
exciting to see you blossom very quickly in your YouTube stuff.
Oh yes, it was very quick. I was surprised myself.
So, for those who don't know, Dr. Modius is awesome. Produce amazing YouTube videos. We'll talk about your YouTube stuff first, but first of all, who is Dr. Modius to people who may not know who she is? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Kanai Joe.
Dr. Modius, it was an interesting story, I suppose. I used to work in an asylum, and I was framed for something. We won't get into that. It's very dark and tragic, but after spiraling into madness and being locked in the very asylum that I used to work in, I escaped and have since been plotting my revenge. Now, as far as revenge goes, I haven't gotten that far, but we're getting there. So,
That's good. So,
yes.
based on that fact, you mentioned some of your people that you're bringing along. You have yourself, obviously, Niches, Nibbles, and Edward, and obviously a new video since we last actually had a conversation. So, can you discuss those character more in detail?
Oh, of course. Niches came from sheer boredom and loneliness. I really didn't have anybody, here in the lab with me. I mean, other than patients, and I couldn't really have a conversation with them, seeing as how they would just scream every time I came near them. So I'm like, okay. I've always heard of making friends, so I decided to go literal with it, and thus created Niches. She's been with me for some time now, and she can be a butt munch when she wants to be, but I think it's all in, good fun and good heart. As far as Edward goes, I brought him into the mix. Again, going back to what happened to me in the asylum, I knew that he had answers that I was looking for. Whether he's willing to give those to me, not so much. So for the most part, I keep him incapacitated. I don't want another, mishap like the last one. And Nibbles was a happy accident. I was trying to cure somebody of a common cold, something that I knew I had done once before, so it couldn't be too hard, and it did not work. So now I have a pet zombie that likes to chew up body parts, the ones that I happen to need sometimes. So there's that.
Right. You're like the Bob Ross of being a doctor. We only make happy accidents.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
This is a happy little accident. So,
indeed.
What is the
goal? Like I said, he can be frustrating at times, but
I think you mentioned that your goal as Dr. Modius is seek revenge, but is there, a farther away goal that you have, or is that just get revenge, you got it, and that's it? Like, is there more, or is that
honestly, I try to think of the future, because I do realize that, once I get my revenge, where do I go from here? Obviously, I'll still keep doing my science and, trying to cure the world one unlucky patient at a time. And I've had a lot of people asking me lately about world domination. And world domination isn't something that I necessarily think about all that often, but given how often it's been brought up to me, it's something I'm considering. So
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speak to the fact, you have all these experiments and stuff, and obviously sacrifices have to be made to achieve world domination. So what kind of experiments have you tried obviously you mentioned one. It's a cold one. And so is there anything that you're just like, I'm not mentioning that, was just forget about it and move on from there? And hopefully nobody will remember.
I think the only experiment that I tried to move on from was probably Lucille. And as everyone saw, a night or two ago, she somehow found her way back into my life. And as I said, she was my first and only failed experiment, contrary to popular belief. And with that, I was trying to create a superhuman, with unimaginable strength and, all kinds of different powers. And I believe I overcooked her a little bit, so I just kind of was like, all right, well, let's move away from that. She was going to play into the whole revenge plot that I had, but it didn't work out. Now she's nothing more than a nuisance to me. So, throwing paper balls and whatnot.
Sounds good. Awesome. So, anything that you have plans for? I mean, we kind of talked and you made videos of it, but is there anything experimental wise that you have being produced in a future video, or video not at all? So going to be another failed experiment, or obviously for you it's never a failed experiment, but is
Oh no,
there,
never a failed experiment.
obviously.
And at this point, I'm just kind of, winging things and seeing where it takes me. Science is always unpredictable, and therefore you just kind of along for the ride and we see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So let's talk about kind of TSU.
Yes,
How did
TSU.
you kind of get wrapped into this?
That was another happy accident. I was on Twitter, and I'm not sure how he popped up on, my feed or anything, or how even I began following him. He was just kind of all of a sudden there, but I noticed something that Sergeant Dutch had reposted or tweeted. So I'm like, okay, I like this. So I liked and retweeted it. And about 10 minutes later, the next thing I knew, I had come to the attention of Toy Soldiers Unite, and I was suddenly under investigation. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And a couple weeks later, apparently a hamster infiltrated my lab. I'm still trying to figure out how that thing got in here. I thought I had my security measures up, but besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
And, he welcomed me aboard, and I was welcomed with open arms by the rest of the toy soldier community. And it's been a very, very pleasant experience so far. I didn't really know who they were, until, of course, that happened. But I'm really glad that it did. It opened up a lot of doors for me, and it's been quite fun.
You said unpleasant, right? I just want to make sure. Or did you say pleasant? Just want to make
No,
sure.
it's been a pleasant experience. It's been pleasant, I promise.
No, they're great. Find out more at toysoldiersunite.com. No,
Exactly.
but yes, you should. So I'm very upset, and I think a lot of other TSU members, speaking of TSU, are upset at you because before you actually officially joined TSU, I'll be on your side this time. You have a way to control people's thoughts through mind control cupcakes. So, if you explain, why would you pick cupcakes over, obviously, the best thing ever, cookies?
Cookies, yes. I have noticed a little bit of distress over that, and
So, I'm so stressed.
Honestly, cookies, they're all right. I don't mind them every once in a while. I'm not trying to downplay, how good they can be, but I mean, cupcakes are just so much better. You've got that cute little cup that they come in, hence the name cupcakes. It's easier to stick a syringe in for once. You ever tried to stick a syringe through a cookie? It goes straight through it.
Well,
and
you
of
could
course,
do it
the
before
sprinkles
the
and the
baking process.
icing. I'm sorry?
I said you could do it before the baking process.
Oh no, you gotta have the syringe in there. It makes it more sciencey.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well,
but I'm slowly starting to accept the cookies. I have noticed, I think I accidentally got into the batch that Dutch sent me, his mind control cookies, because I've noticed myself slipping up and using those and mentioning those. So, obviously, the toy soldiers have the mind control technology under wraps. So, I'm hoping I can get a
obviously.
few notes from them.
Well, you know, I'm more of the delivery guy. I'm not the one. I obviously have scouts to go to doors for me and sell cookies for me. So I'm just the
I mean,
businessman
I
behind
would
the
send
door.
niches, but
You're right. 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 Um. So I guess we could be friends after all. After that.
oh, of course, there's no reason we should divide ourselves, based off of cookies versus cupcakes. In the end, it all goes towards mind control and controlling the masses, so it's a win-win.
Right. Right. So what is your ideal candidate for a test subject? I mean, do they have to be smart, educated? I mean, do you have to gain their trust? And I mean, like if somebody somehow find your address, and obviously that happened already, uh, sending
Mm.
you their application, say, I want to be your test subject. What do you look for people who are interested?
Honestly, I've never had anyone submit to me an application, although I should probably start printing those out. It would make things a lot easier. But for the
Oh yeah.
most part, as long as I can knock them out cold within about 5 seconds and they don't fight me off, that's really the most important part. As far as, their physical bodies go or mental capabilities, it depends on what I'm looking for at the moment. You know, I had a mishap where I was trying to get some legs for niches and they ended up being the wrong shoe size. So, I fed what was left over to Nibbles because, I can't have that just sitting around in the lab making smells and whatnot. So, but it all depends.
Right. Depends on who you're looking for at the time, really. Right.
Exactly. If I need a heart, a pair of lungs. I haven't needed a brain so far. Those I kind of can make on my own. That's a secret recipe. I won't tell you that. But it's very hard to grow bigger, larger body parts here, especially with Nibbles running around.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, we'll take a break and we'll come back, ask amazing more questions. Um, Make sure to stick around. See you then.
There is nothing a warrior likes more than crushing the skull of his enemy underfoot while listening to Robot Attack.
And welcome back to Robot Attack. My name is Scotter715 and still here for some reason with Dr. Modius. Somehow she's still here on this
Hello.
podcast. She's stuck with me. I have blackmail on her. Um, so, um, so we talked about test subjects, mind controlling, and everything. So let's, focus on some other features that you have on your YouTube. So I noticed one of your weaknesses, I feel, as being an evil doctor as you are, you're kind of falling into, and a lot of people said, you're a nice individual, and even some of your videos with, this guy, whoever it is, the secret admirer, obviously they have feelings for you. So do you think, as a evil doctor trying to, take over the world, maybe, question mark? We'll put a question mark on that. Do you feel like that's a sign of weakness, or how do you explain your kind of likeliness? And obviously, you joined TSU without blinking an eye. Obviously, that's the easy answer. But is it kind of a
Oh, of course.
long-term strategy that you kill them with kindness, or is it just
I mean,
all smoke
essentially,
and mirrors?
I have to be able to gain the trust of my subjects, test subjects. Back in the day, it was just as easy to either slip them a cupcake or just bash them over a head with some pipe that I found in here. But I found it's a lot easier and a lot more fun if, I gain their trust and befriend them. Now, sometimes that doesn't always work out because, if you become friends with somebody, it makes it a lot harder when you're chopping them up.
Right.
I will admit that.
Right.
But any TSU members, you guys are safe. I won't do that to you. Just
Okay.
the other people. Yeah, you don't have to worry. You're good. Unless you volunteer. If you
Well,
want to volunteer, you know where to find me.
right. I mentioned on Twitter that me and Modius here actually started to be friends before this. And I'm like, we said we're friends and stuff. And I was like, I feel for my life right now. I'm feeling for it. I feel like she's gained my trust just to use me as her lab experiment. Maybe that's your long-term goal.
No, as I said, any TSU members, you guys are safe. Unless, of course, you willingly come to me, and then I'm not going to argue with you, especially, if you've got the right stuff that I'm looking for. How can I argue with you?
Right.
But no, for the most part, you're safe. It's mainly people that I don't really know all that well, and then I befriend them, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. What's your name again? Checks chart. Jim. All right, let's go.
That's usually how it goes. Interesting.
Oh, of course.
So let's trying to change things up a notch. So basically, you said 3 months, and you made in that 3 months 17 videos, 57 subscribers. So how do you explain that success, you think? Or how do you feel, Dr. Modius on YouTube is gonna go in the future?
Honestly, I don't really know how to explain, the success that I've had, and and I'm being honest. Even in the thank you video that I did when I hit 50 subscribers, it was just amazing to me because when I first started this, I really didn't know how far it was going to go, and it was one of those things, you never know until you try, and I think it's harder to regret something, not doing something than the alternative of trying it and then it fails, because then at least now towards the later half of this, I do have to thank TSU because I know a lot of it did come from them, people sharing my stuff and, seeing the outpouring, I just drew a blank. Support, there we go, from the community. See, when I think about it, I get all worked up and I'm like, oh my God. But it's amazing to me. I really don't know how to explain it. And honestly, I'm hoping that this will go even farther. I hit, 50 subscribers. Right now I'm up to 58. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have 100 and then 200 and just keep it going. I'm trying to crank out material and content, as quick as I can, as fast as I can. Pretty soon I'm going to be selling merchandise. So that'll be interesting.
I'm throwing so much
we'll
money.
Have a little piece of Modius. I'm sorry?
I said I'm throwing so much money at the screen. Just throw it at the
yes,
screen.
buy my stuff.
Just pour it out of my pockets onto the screen. But yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I will gladly take your money.
Yeah. Or Patreon, anything, obviously. It's up to you. But obviously, your success is uncanny, as it's unbelievable how successive you are. We got Popular's video, 165 views. And that's just an evil laugh.
Yeah, that and Sleepy Times.
Right.
Sleepy Time seemed to be really, really popular, and I'm still trying to figure out why. I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, it's just me talking to the camera.
I think.
So, but it's interesting.
Also, when I saw this, like, the Sleepy Time, like, that could be just easily broadcast, but, like, for Halloween, for, some sort. I was just like, oh my god, I could just play this, and then while trick-or-treaters come to my door, just over and over and repeat, and it'd be perfect, and people would be
Oh yeah,
terrified.
definitely. Modius and Halloween kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
Hence, you've seen my lab, so.
Right. So, awesome. Well, we reached the end. So let's talk about your actual YouTube. The way to find Dr. Modius on YouTube is simply type Dr. Modius. Dr.Modius. Is that correct?
That is correct. And you can also find me on Twitter at Dr. Modius as well. I'm sorry. I was trying to help.
No. Yes. She's on Twitter. Same Twitter handle at Dr. Modius. If you can't find it, really don't worry. I'll 90% of the time try to retweet her stuff. Her videos are awesome. Check her out. And also on Facebook, Dr. Modius. So definitely check those out. Really fun videos. I applaud you. I had to do this interview with you, so appreciate the time.
Well, thank you. I was thrilled once I was approached, and told that you wanted to interview me. I'm like, really? Me? Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
Anytime.
So thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. See you next time.
This is an emergency broadcast. This is emergency broadcast. This is Professor Elemental, and you're listening to Robot Attack. I'm going to go into hiding. Yeah!
And welcome back to Robot Attack. My name is Scottish75, and it's been a while that I have an update, so I thought it's a good time to do so. Obviously, we just ended the podcast with Modius. It's really exciting. It's really nice to have her. We've actually been friends before that podcast, and still friends now for some strange reason. She has amazing content, so definitely check her out as Dr. Modius on YouTube, and she's getting so much popular. So do it while you still can. So yeah, update really is about a house. This is why I've really haven't been producing as much videos or YouTube content, or they're the same thing, by the way. Basically anything for that matter. I've been, as you can notice, decrease in intake and sort of producing wise, and that's the reason I'm literally in the moving in process. As you could probably hear from the audio, I already moved in, kind of more or less. I'm just slowly moving stuff as we go. Mostly have a gaming rig in, so that's always good. And yeah, I just wanted to give that update. I'm not dead, as you could tell, so far. And yeah, definitely check out Modius. I haven't really, like I said, been producing much YouTube stuff. So far behind. I'll get back into, obviously did some Halloween stuff with Techie5 and Mod with Don't Starve. Definitely going to continue Don't Starve series with Mod. Definitely going to finish Life is Strange for sure. I know that's a lot of people are asking for that actually. And people are frustrated in fact, so I'll definitely record that again. Now that I kind of will have hopefully more time for that. Hopefully, bigger improvements into YouTube content and Twitch content. So if you want to find out my Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Scottish75. Mostly playing just whatever I feel like playing. So I think it just comes and goes. I can't really predict any games that I have in mind. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, as I said, for YouTube, it's youtube.com/Scottish75. It's a great way to follow my stuff. I'll definitely continue, like I said, Don't Starve. I'll continue the Don't Starve series with Mod. The Don't Starve Adventure series, pretty much end shortly anyways, so Dr. I can't even say it. The Tiger and the Terribly Cursed Emerald. Just played a game of that. It's only a 20-minute game. But yeah, definitely go back to Life is Strange. Keeping Don't Starve together with Mod. Continuing the adventure series with Don't Starve. I'm probably gonna start a new series as well. And yeah, keep talking and no one explodes. That's kind of just whenever I feel like it, and me and Mod just don't feel like playing Don't Starve together. That's kind of what we play. So like, it's probably once a month if that. So check that out. But yeah, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitch and YouTube. I'll definitely try to have a little bit more time for both of those now that I'm not living at home. Although I'm sure I'll be busy running around the house still, but at least it'll be kind of maybe different content for me. But yeah, probably also start a new series. Not sure. I don't want to spoil anything. I think I don't want to keep promises. There's definitely in the midst of new games as well. I definitely can't afford games, really. Maybe I'll buy a game closer to the holiday season. Maybe Cyber Monday. This is recorded before Cyber Monday, so maybe I'll pick up some games during that aspect. So look forward to maybe a new series. Kind of stray away from Don't Starves and stuff like that, and trying to do something new and out of content. So yeah, make sure to follow me. Follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/robotax712, and on Twitter, just at symbol Scotter715. It's that easy. Yes. So those are the best ways to see if I'm, see if I'm streaming or recording. Is those two. Those. Why am I being tagged in this? Those two episodes. So yeah, check those out. Those two areas of content. So yeah, make sure to follow that and be appreciated. But see you next time, and stick around.